Welcome to the virtual office hours. As many of you know, my name is John Fia. Teach history and I am the chair of the history department at Messiah College. This is episode 16 of the office hours. I am here with our producer, Megan Piet. There she is. We are going to continue today with our short little series here on blogging. If you remember the last office hours, we talked about how I got started in blogging at The Way of Improvement Leads Home, which is the name of the blog, and what my blogging philosophy is all about. I also, continue to encourage you to send in questions. If you want to have a question about blogging or a question about The Way of Improvement Leads Home, by all means send that in, Facebook me, or put a comment on the blog, or send me an email at jfea@messiah.edu. We did get one question today, and I'm going to privilege that question here. It'll be the third question that we address. But I think we'll just continue here. This is part 2 now of our Q&A, frequently asked questions about blogging, historical blogging, and perhaps particularly blogging at The Way of Improvement Leads Home blog. Do I make money with the blog? That's a great question. I get that asked a lot. A lot of people, I know a lot of bloggers, especially these sort of mommy bloggers and other more commercial bloggers, make a lot of money through advertising and so forth. At this point, we don't make any money on the blog. I'm not particularly interested in making money on the blog, although I will admit that I have toyed around with the Amazon Associates program. So when you click on one of the links to a book, or rarely a product, but usually a book on the blog, it does go to the Amazon Associates page, and we get a couple of pennies, from that. But it's not a whole lot of money. I often have some misgivings about that, because I know a lot of local booksellers too that I know sometimes get beat up pretty bad by Amazon, and by me linking to Amazon all the time. I know I'm encouraging people to buy from Amazon instead of these local booksellers. So do we make money? No. We do make a few pennies here and there with the Amazon. I have toyed with the possibility, I'd love to hear from you about this, I have toyed with the possibility of revamping and redesigning the Way of Improvement Leads Home website blog to take ads. I'm not particularly interested in sort of Google ads and sort of random ads that show up, but actually selling ad space to presses or authors who are promoting books, or for conferences and so on and so forth. Our numbers are high enough, I think, that there may be people interested in that. So if you can think of some creative ways that we can make money with the blog that may not, is not going to sacrifice the integrity of the blog, I'd love to hear from you and love to talk with you more about it. I'm not opposed to making money with the blog, but at this point I haven't made that much. What does Messiah think about the blog? Most everyone I encounter, from the president right on down, is encouraging. They actually think it's a great idea to get the name of the college out there. They actually think it's a wonderful way of practicing the digital humanities, or public history, or public engagement, or the life of a public intellectual. They especially like it when I mention Messiah College in one of my blog posts, and they really like it when I link to Messiah College, because that sort of plays into their statistics about the number of hits people are getting, or the number of viewers people are getting on the Messiah College website. So they like when that happens. I should say, though, that my blog, The Way of Improvement Leads Home, is in no way an official blog of Messiah College, and it is not something that is endorsed by the college. I would imagine if I were to write blog posts that were critical of Messiah College, I might hear something from the administration, but I love the place where I work. I don't have, it's not perfect, but I do have, I'm sure I have criticisms of things that go on here, but nothing that I want to vent, or big, large enough that I want to vent in a sort of public forum. So much of what who I am and what I blog about is really reflective of the sort of larger mission of Messiah College. Now, every now and then we may have constituencies of the college, or donors, or other people who may not like certain political or ideological or interpretive take that I have on something. But that comes with being part of a college and having the academic freedom within limits to say, make certain arguments. So the college has been very, very supportive, and I know Messiah College as a whole has been very, very supportive of social media and blogging and these kinds of efforts. So it's a good place. It's a good place to work and a good place to be a blogger. As I said, we did get one question this week, and the question relating to writing sheds and Bruce Springsteen. I think it's funny, but I get more comments about writing sheds and Bruce Springsteen blog posts. There are now people following me from the Bruce Springsteen sort of online community. They follow me on Twitter or they read the blog. Much of what I post on Springsteen is not original. It comes from links from places like Backstreets.com or blanking on the name of the other major Springsteen website, Blogness on the Edge of Town. These websites I'll find things on and I'll riff on them a little bit on the blog. But a diehard Springsteen fan, grew up, I'm from New Jersey, grew up listening to Springsteen. I can't imagine my life without the music of Bruce Springsteen. Been to multiple concerts, so it's always fun to give a little. I think at the Daily Dish, Andrew Sullivan calls them mental health breaks. Where I put up a post that's a little lighter, or maybe put up a song of the day from Springsteen, or comment on something going on in the field of Springsteen studies, which there actually are conferences now and academic books about the music of Springsteen. Maybe I'll write one someday. Who knows? Writing sheds. I don't know. I've just been fascinated with small sort of spaces where people work. I do a lot of links to sort of the Shedworking website, which is really brought me into this whole conversation. They often cite some of my stuff. I hear about other scholars like T.J. Tomlin at University of Northern Colorado, who went out and bought a shed in which he works in. I like the idea of having a sort of separate space where I can work. Some might call it a man cave of some type. I look at more as a place, a sort of place where you go and write. And some of the sort of great writers of our generation and of previous generations have worked in these kinds of small spaces. So whenever I see a cool looking shed or writing shed of some type, I'll usually do a post about it. And I actually have a small following of writing shed enthusiasts who read the blog, or I actually tried, back to the making money on the blog, I actually have tried a couple times to do a post saying, if maybe a builder out there or a producer of writing sheds who wants to have a model that they can use, to build a model in my backyard, and I'll be happy to give them as much free publicity for their company on the blog as they want. They can use pictures and so on and so forth of the place. That offer's still out there. If you're a builder or you make sheds, I'd be happy to get in touch with me. I'd be happy to talk to you more about it. And one more thing, I want to give a shout out to Chris Gertz, the chair of the history department at Bethel University in St. Paul, or is it Minneapolis, St. Paul area, for his great blog post about the virtual office hours. Chris and I, as he mentions in the post, have a sort of mutual admiration society. He's always saying nice things about my blog. I am about his. Check out his blog, The Pietist Schoolman. He has a slightly different blogging philosophy than me, but his stuff is always very, very good, very, very rich, very, very intellectually stimulating. And so I just want to thank him for the shout out, and I hope he can get going on his own virtual office hours soon.